Hi, it's Mørtein. If this is your first time watching one of my videos, hello, I'm Mørtein. I have a lot of hobbies, including, but not limited to, crocheting, knitting, and sewing, and honestly anything else, but those are the main things I do. So I'm guessing since you clicked onto this video, you are creative yourself. So I hope you enjoy this video, and if you want to, I would really love it if you could subscribe and maybe like this video. Let's jump into this one. Today we are going to upcycle some of my clothes so that I actually wear them, because I have a lot of clothes and I feel like I don't have any clothes at all. But like my wardrobe is full and I like only wear the same 3 stuff every day. So we have to change that up, okay? So the first 3 patients of today who we are going to give a cute makeover are, I don't know, we have 2 bikinis. They are both from Design by Side. I don't know how to pronounce that. I bought them secondhand, like at an online thrift shop, so they weren't that expensive, but they're like really gorgeous. I really love the colors, but they do fit a little weird. And I also have this one skirt. I bought this in Hamburg in Germany 1 or 2 years ago, because it was so hot. I was wearing like jeans and it was too much, so I bought these and they're so cute. But the problem with these are they are a little too tight. Like, it's not like I can't wear them, but it's just a little uncomfortable. They like really like cinch the waist in, but not in a good way. So I just want to loosen this band up a little. And for the bikinis, on both of them, I have an issue with the back side. Covers the butt a little, but that's still too much. It feels a little like a diaper. Not to say that if you have this exact bikini you look like you're wearing a diaper. It's just how I feel wearing it. It's not that flattering on me. Plus it does like bulk up. I have a picture here for reference, just a little, not that crazy, but it does like it's looking a little off. So what I want to do with this is to add a scrunch just straight down the middle to sort of cinch it in without having to like take any of the sides off, hopefully. If I have to do that, I am going to, but I'm going to try just to cinch it in. And I'm also going to remove this because it really does itch, and yeah, it does not feel good. I'm going to do this first and then try it on and see, but I might also have to cinch it in a little bit here because it does make a little like something in the crotch area. And yeah, so I want it to be as smooth as possible, but we'll see after I do the scrunch. For the top of the same bikini, I really love this color and it has the glitter. This is so cute, but when I have it on, it just looks like meh. So one thing I'm going to do, and this is super easy, is again I'm just going to scrunch the middle so it looks, just going to scrunch it like that, and that already looks so much better. So that's the plan for these 2. Not that much, but a little, and a little goes a long way. Okay, and for the last bikini, I'm doing this last because I think this is going to be the most difficult. So I'm just going to like practice on the other stuff first. For this bikini bottom, it's the same thing. This is smaller in the back, but it's just a tiny bit like too much, and it does also like look weird. It looks baggy on the back side. But that is pretty much it for this. And then we have this top. It is gorgeous. It does have this shape in the middle, and one thing though is I don't really have any boobs, like they're small, and that's okay. It just, with this bikini, with this here, I feel like something's missing. My boobs. And that's not a feeling you should have about your bodies. Nothing's missing, okay? It's just your clothes. So this, I feel like this would look much better on someone with a little bit of cleavage. It's like, because I don't know, that just makes sense to me. Again, if you want to wear this and you don't have any boobs, slay girl, like, I won't judge. It's just on me. I won't wear this, you know? So my plan here is to keep the underwire, but I'm going to cut it right here and here. Just leave this thing out, and hopefully I can just sew these two together. I'm planning on like cutting the fabric here and here so that I can use the fabric that's like on this wire to connect the two cups. And hopefully that's enough, because I really like the underwire bra look on a bikini. And I also like the cut because it does like show you this part of the boob, but it doesn't show your nipple or anything, and it like covers a lot without covering like the whole thing. I really like that cut. Yeah, that's about it. I do feel like this, again, since I don't have much to cover, it does cover a lot on the side, so I'm curious as to when I remove this, how I will feel about it, if it's okay, or if I have to like somehow reduce the size of the cup, like cut it lower or something. I'm not sure, but hopefully doing this part is enough. So yeah, we'll see how that goes, but let's start with the easiest. We'll start with the skirt, okay? So I don't really, like, I have a plan, but I don't know what I'm doing. Also, if you guys have like similar bikinis, similar problems with the bikinis, and you're looking for this video like as inspiration for how you can upcycle your bikinis, please watch until I'm done with one bikini, because like don't just do like I do, like step 1, step 2, and then you have cut your bikini or something, and then I end up not being able to fix it, you know. So just watch the whole thing through before you start, so that we don't both fuck up our bikinis, okay, or skirt. But I think my plan here is to, on the side here there is a sewn part together. I think I'm just going to, what's that called, like rip the seam as gracefully as possible. Or like, I'm not a seamstress, I have no idea what I'm doing, I'm just a girl having tons of hobbies. So yeah, we're just trying it out. Yeah, I think I'm going to do this, and then the plan is to just take the band, the like stretchy part, and add a little bit more. So I don't know if I have like the exact same thickness of a stretchy one, so I might just add a little bit of fabric, and that won't be stretchy, but it will like make this wider, sort of. You can still stretch everything else, just not the part that will be fabric. So we'll see once I open it and find my stuff. Yeah, I apologize for the bad lighting right here, but this is where my sewing machine is. But I don't think you have to like do all around. I just undid the inside of the skirt, and you can see the band here. So I'm just going to like pull this out of its home just like that, and then I'm going to just cut this part. And then I found I have a satin, is it called a band? I'm not sure, but I have this satin like bow fabric, sort of, that is pretty much the exact same width as this band. I don't think it has to be exactly, I think it could be like a little smaller. Again, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm guessing that's okay. So what I'm going to do is just to cut this part here. I can show you. I can show you. Just going to cut it like that. And then I should probably measure how much I want it to like go out, but am I going to do it? No, I'm just eyeballing this. So yeah guys, I don't know what I'm doing. You could measure it, you could if you want to, but yeah, I'm just going to eyeball it. So I'm doing here. This is about 10 centimeters. Yeah, like the worst case, it will just scrunch up in there, and I don't think you will notice that because this part is also scrunched up. I'm just going to grab a candle to just like melt the sides before we start. Then I'm just going to carefully just melt like that, and then just do the other side. Now that we have this piece, we are just going to lay it on top of the stretchy band like that, and then I'm just going to pin it down with a needle just like that. And then I'm going to sew this first so that it is easier to sew the other end on afterwards. Maybe I should also burn this. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. I don't know if that, like, if it will fry, but just in case, I don't know if it will burn up into flames either, so we'll see. Just pull it tight so that you don't have any of the skirt part going over. Again, if you're like under, I don't know, 16, 18, do this with a parent by your side maybe, or someone adult. Just a little warning. Oh yeah, very nice. Yeah, just a little. And then the other side. Now let's pin it back on, and then I'm gonna show you how I will sew it. So now that I have the foot on the fabric, I'm just going to pull this out, this needle, so that we don't sew over it. It will be like securely enough so that you can just hold it like this as you sew. And then I'm going to just choose a zigzag stitch. I think you can do a straight stitch as well, because you're just going down, it won't stretch this way anyway, so I think you're good. But just for safety reasons, I feel it will be more secure maybe if I do a zigzag, so I'm just going to do that. You can do whatever you want. Yeah, and then I'm just going to sew down, and remember to sew extra on the sides. On this one I have, on this sewing machine, I have a button that will do that for me, but just go back and forth a little if you don't have that. It should look something like this. It did tangle up a little bit here, but that's okay. So now we're just going to connect these two. Just like that, completely just like we did on the first one. Just a little note, this part here where we did the seam ripping, this part doesn't stretch because it has been sewn onto the band. So just a little warning, if you're going to do the same, just start with the one that you can't pull out, because then you can pull out this to make it easier to lay flat like that, because now I have to, like, I won't struggle, but it's a little bit more difficult to be able to lay this down. Like, yeah, it didn't seem that hard on camera, but it is a little difficult. Yeah, just a little tip. It's so fun how simple this is. But now we have made the band a little bit wider. Hopefully it's enough. If not, I'll just cut off a part and do the same thing. Just cut off here or something, and then just again burn the end of that if you have cut it here, and then just add another band, however long you want, and do the exact same steps as you did to connect these to that, and then I think you're good. Now let's stretch it out so that we can sew the hole. It is a little, like, not stretched here, but that's okay. Like, you won't really be able to see that once you have it on, I'm guessing. So you could definitely use like the same type of band that is stretchy, and then you will get stretch all over, but if that doesn't matter that much, then you're good. And then I'm going to just sew this shut with a ladder stitch. I'm going to show you how to do that by hand. You could also do this on the machine, just do a zigzag stitch down, but just remember that that will also show on the back side. So I'm doing a more like seamless sewing. There will be those loose ends from when you just like seam ripped. I'm just going to ignore that. And hopefully that doesn't like frog further. You could like try and just sew these secure, like weave in those ends if you want to, but I'm just going to like tuck them in and just forget about it, and just secure extra good where you like stopped seam ripping, so that it doesn't go further down. But yeah, ladder stitch. So I have grabbed a needle and a thread, and I'm going to be using a double strand, so just tie a knot at the end, just like that. So I'm just going to pull the needle through the very beginning here. Just like that, and then just tuck the thread into the skirt. And then what you're gonna do is just to grab a little on the side of the fabric, not up here, but like on the side as much as possible, and then just grab a little bit of fabric like that, pull through, and then where the fabric came out, you're going to mirror that on the side and put the needle through there, and then just up a little bit on the side, and then you're just going to continue like that, just on this same, like parallel to where the thread came out. You're going to put the needle in and then up on the side. It's a little difficult to see with white thread, but it's very easy. The stitch is very easy. Just continue like that all the way up until you get here. And then here at the end, you're just going to continue just like that. Up until there isn't a gap anymore. So once you've hit the end, you can just pull this thread and everything will close together. Just like that, seamlessly and perfect. Now you just tie a knot at the end. You just sew into a little bit of the fabric. Just like that. And then go through the loop you just made. And then one more time into the same loop. And then just pull tight. And just weave in the end. I just pull it through from where the end is and then just out somewhere you want, pull through, and then just cut off this thread right here. And then you're done. Perfect, seamless, very nice. I will show the result of everything I make in this video at the end, just to like summarize everything, so stay tuned. But now let's get into this bikini. I'm so excited. I can't remember if I told you guys also, I don't think I did, but sometimes I experience that the bikini bottoms will, like, that the white will show when it's on. I tried this on because I thought this would do that. It didn't really do that when it was on, because I was originally thinking to just sew a straight stitch along the edge so that it keeps everything in place. But yeah, I don't think I have to do that, but maybe once I do the scrunch it will, you know, so I'm not that sure. But yeah. Yeah, so just to repeat, on this one I will do a little scrunch here, just straight in the middle, and also remove this one, and then we'll do the top afterwards. So let's just rip this off with the seam ripper. That's so much prettier than having this little like indent. So let's do the other. You can still see it a little, but I think once I use it, it will disappear eventually. But this is already so much better. Now I am just going to fold this. I'm not really sure if I'm going to do the at the exact top, or if I'm going to start here and then, yeah, I am going to do this part as well. So I'm just going to fold the backside in half to find the middle, just like that, and then I'm going to just take pins along this line right here, like that. So now I have an approximately like sort of straight line. It doesn't have to be perfect because it will be scrunched either way, so like it does not have to be perfect. And I think to make this a little bit easier for myself, I'm just going to put on a little bit of marker and just draw exactly where those pins are. Again, it does not have to be perfect, but just so that you can see where it is, and then you can just take out the pins again so that you know where to sew. And then let's go over to the sewing machine, and I'm going to use what's that called, like a stretchy thread. On the under thread I have this stretchy here. I have a little bobbin already threaded with the stretchy thread, so I'm just going to change. Oops. Oh my, oh, it detangled. So I'm just going to put this back on, and this is like nice time to show you how to do that if you aren't sure, because you're not supposed to pull it when you're threading it. You're supposed to just do it gently, like so you don't stretch it, just barely holding on. So I would not recommend putting on this thread on the sewing machine, because then you can just do it quick, but then it will stretch. I think, I'm not sure, but it's just better to do by hand, and the thread is pretty thick as well, so it won't fit that much onto it. Just like that. I'm not exactly sure how this will go, because this fabric is already a little bit stretchy, so I don't know how the sewing machine will handle it. I'm just going to use a little piece of fabric to just check that everything is okay. I don't have any thread that matches this fabric really, so I'm just going to use white. I don't think it will show that much, and if it does, that's okay. It's the scrunch that counts. So I'm just going to, just like that, I'm using a straight stitch, and I put the stitch length up to 3.5. I can't remember if that does anything or if I should have it shorter, so we'll see, but yeah. And then I'm just going to again sew like up and down, like secure the thread here, and then just sew a straight line. Make sure to pull the fabric a little so it will scrunch more. And then I think I'm just going to do a line all until here. I'm not sure, or maybe stop somewhere here. But I think I'm just going to sew all the way down here just to make sure that it is scrunched enough. Yeah. I'm a little bit like, I don't know how that went, so let's take it off and see. The sound it makes, I don't know if it's supposed to do that, but it makes that sound because of the bobbin thread that is stretchy, so it has always done that when I sew with this machine. If you are experienced with sewing machines and with the bobbin being a stretchy thread, is this like an okay sound, or should I do anything different? Please let me know. Scrunched! It isn't like that much of a scrunch, so I might go back and do another one. And again, I don't know if I'm supposed to do a shorter stitch length or a longer one. But this is not really that bad. I'm just going to try this on quickly just to see, and then yeah. Okay, so it definitely helped a lot, but it still isn't perfect for me. So I'm just going to look up how to scrunch a bikini bottom so that I actually know what I'm doing, and because I want it to be even more scrunched. So yeah, we'll do this one more time, and I'll get back to you once I've learned how to do it. So I just found a TikTok from Tiger Woods, but this is so easy, and you don't need a sewing machine. You can do this by hand, and I think this might be what I want, because then I don't have to do it completely all the way down. So we're going to try this. Okay, so I have just removed the thread and now she said to use like heavy duty thread. I don't know if I have that, so I'm just again using a double-stranded one with a knot on the end. And again, I'm just going to work straight down. On the back side, I'm just going to pull this through just like that, and then going to just weave in, like going back and forth through, maybe down here or something, so maybe halfway down, because it will scrunch a lot because you're tugging it really tight. So I'm just going to do that, and then we'll see how that looks. Okay, so I stopped there, and now I'm just going to pull this tight. Just going to scrunch it up just like that. And then you have a scrunched look. Like, it was not that easy to hold and let you guys see. I don't know if I want to do a little bit more, maybe, because it doesn't look that much. Yeah, just a tiny little bit more, and then I'm going to secure it loosely and then try it on. I think actually because I did fairly like big stitches, so I think I'm actually going to do this one more time with the stitches closer to each other, so that it will be more of a ruffle, but like more controlled, just to see how that looks. Yeah. Okay, so this is how it's looking right now. Hopefully it looks good on. I'm gonna try it on and then we'll see. Okay, so I think we are good. It's just that I haven't been wearing any bikinis this year, so I think I'm just a little bikini blind. Like, I don't remember how it's supposed to look. So I was just staring at my butt for maybe 10 minutes right now, and I'm just, do I like it or do I not? But I think it just might be that I'm not used to wearing bikinis. So I'm just going to let this be for now. Yeah, and then continue on with the top. And what's great about this is I can just use the exact same method I used on this to scrunch the middle part right here. And this has a little line as it is, because it is supposed to have those like cups inside, but I don't like the look of that, so I took them out. So I'm just going to trace this, and again I'm going to do like tiny stitches instead of long ones, because I think that looks better, and I want this to be as tight as possible as well. So this one is going to be really easy, and I think I will love it immediately. So let's go. Ta-da! Oh, it's upside down. Ta-da! Perfect. So easy, so simple. It took me less than 5 minutes, and now I feel like I can wear this top. Like, oh, if this isn't a sign for you to check if you can upcycle your clothes instead of throwing them out, then I don't know what to tell you, because slay. So now this bikini is hopefully done. Again, I will check on later to see how I feel about the bottom, but let's continue on with the last bikini, the burgundy one. Gorgeous. It's beginning to be a little repetitive what we're doing here, but again, we are going to remove this because I don't like this. And then again, I'm going to do a little ruffle here, not too much because this isn't that big. It doesn't cover a lot, it doesn't get that baggy, so just maybe from the top to there or something, just to add a little bit of scrunch. Again, doing with the double-stranded thread, tying a knot, pulling it through, tightening it, and then securing it. So let's go. Ta-da! Just a just a little bit of scrunch in the back, and the tag is also removed. There are like tiny like holes, but they will, I think they will like even out, yeah, eventually. So for the grand finale, the bikini top. I like, oh my god, I don't know what to do. Well, I have a plan, but like, oh, I'm kind of nervous. Yeah, so again, just to recap, I am going to cut off this part. I'm going to cut the fabric about here, so I have a little space there to go with, and there, so I have this fabric to connect those two cups afterwards, and then cut the wire off from like here to here. What I am curious about is if it will like pierce through the fabric or not. Yeah, I guess I just have to sew very well so that it doesn't go through the stitches, but let's go. So I have my tiny little cute scissors, and we are just going to cut. So I have already cut through, but I just realized that it is possible to just seam rip inside of here, because then I can just like pull it down and cut the wire and then do something. And also, okay, so I'm not, okay, I will do that, even though I just cut here a tiny little piece. It is a little like ripped. I'm going to do what I just said, to seam rip and then cut the wire, because then this part will be fully attached and clean, and then just reattach it to this part somehow. Or if I can just sew that together, the little space I just cut, and then just fold this thing, I don't know, but let's seam rip first. So here it is. When I like touched it inside this, it felt like it was flat and not like round. So this again is making me think that it might pierce through the stitches or the fabric, but oh well. So yeah, I'm just going to cut it just right where this ends, so here, and we have cut the first piece. Oh, so it's not very evenly cut, so I might have to go back and do it one more time. No, I think we're good, because when I like push the fabric, it will, they end at the same place. So what I'm going to do now is, yeah, I think I'm just going to just sew by hand multiple times up and down here, just to secure the wire on both sides, and then we'll figure out what to do with the middle part. Okay, so I've now sewn the ends so the wires hopefully won't poke through. So I'm now going to just try this on and see how short I want this string to be, and then find out a way to make this seamlessly sewn together. So my fear came true. The wire pierced through the fabric, so that's extremely fun. Yeah, I'm just going to, I don't know what to do really. I guess I'll just try and sew even more, and if it happens again, I think I'm going to put on some like hot glue or something to make the end not that sharp, but I don't know if that will stick. So I'm just again going to sew by hand a lot, and then we'll see what happens. I also realized that I can just sew this together as close as possible, because that gives a little push-up effect to the girls, you know, you gotta keep them together. So I don't mind that. So yeah, I still have to think about how to connect them, but we are getting closer to a finished result. So yeah, I just took a decision and cut in the middle, and I'm now just going to try and like overlap them and then sew them together as seamlessly as possible. So okay, so I'm gonna try to explain what I've done so far and how I'm going to continue. So on the inside of the straps there was another type of fabric that I just cut to make this thinner and not so bulky. I did that on both of the straps, just cut it down a little. And on the longest strap on the cups, I just folded the end to make like a clean edge, so it hopefully doesn't frog or unravel. And what I'm going to do now is, I think I'm going to cut this just a little bit shorter. This is also where I cut previously, before I had thoughts. And then I'm just going to like put this inside here like a sausage in a bun, you know. And then yeah, just shove it down and then sew them together. But this will be all the way over here. Yeah, hopefully you understood. I'm done, and all of this, I did this in one day. Around 5 hours it took me in total to do everything and eat in between. So I am extremely happy. It is a little wonky and not perfect, but nobody's perfect. So the next clip, you guys will see the comparisons for like the before and after. You decide what you think, but I am so happy, and I will definitely make more of this series. I have a lot of, like, especially I have a lot of bikinis that I like never wear because they're not like that flattering. So this won't be the last video you see from me on this topic, okay? Especially not bikinis. So look forward to that, but let's look at that before and afters.